While all of the summer flowers are fading out, it's sad really to look at your porch planters on the front porch or to surmise your garden. While those flowers fade, one fall plant is stepping into its bloom time. It's the garden mom, and maybe one day it will get over its image as an old-fashioned flower because abundant heaping flowers come with the garden mom. Its rich jewel tone colors are unbeatably fall. In fact, Better Homes and Gardens calls the garden mom, quote, the diva of the autumn garden, and that to me sounds like a more appropriate title. Lloyd is here to tell us all about mums. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. How are you, Brooke?
Well, I'm doing great, surrounded by this beauty. And I have to tell you, I know there probably is a stereotype out there that the mom's old-fashioned. I'm obsessed with this flower. What's your take on that?
Yeah, let's break that stereotype.
Let's break it.
They've been around a long time, but they're not old-fashioned.
Do you find people think that, though?
They do, yeah, just because they've been here so long. But breeders have been doing a lot of work to make sure that they last longer, that we come up with new colors that we can all enjoy. So, yeah, let's break the stereotype and show how mums can be used today.
I want to focus on the new color that you mentioned, the new colors, because you walk into any grocery store this time of year or any flower retailer and you see a huge display of mums out front, those front doors. So what color varieties can we look for this year that will maybe give it a more fresh spin?
So mums still come in the old standbys of yellows and purples, whites, reds, bronzes. But some of the new colors, especially bicolors, are what have been coming out recently, and it just makes it cool because you can enjoy two colors in one plant, right? So some of the bicolors I brought today, we have purples and whites, and there's always a yellow in the center usually for the mum, for where the bud came from.
Which makes it a tricolor, I'm just saying.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay.
There's three colors, and if you want to count the green, we could go into details, but this is one of my favorites. This is called Solar Flare. It's been out just a few years, but it's got the bronze and the yellow, so it's still bright, but it gives you the warm tones of fall that remind us all of this time of year.
That screams autumn, doesn't it?
It does.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
For sure. So Solar Flare, we don't usually go by names. There's hundreds of varieties of mums out there. So what I always say is wait until they start blooming and then pick the colors that you like.
Is that when we should buy them, when they've already bloomed?
Let's talk about bloom stages for a minute. So it depends on what you're after and how long you want to enjoy them, Brooke. Mums only bloom for about 5 to 6 weeks. And so if you're having a party and company's coming over and you need blooms, buy them in bloom right now. They're only going to last a few more weeks for you, but at least you're set for the company.
You're covered, yeah.
Yeah. But what I like to do is ideally buy a mum. I like to buy my mums.
Come on, that's fun.
That was good.
Okay.
Right as they're just showing their color, so I can tell what they're going to be. So this is that Solar Flare.
Okay.
And you can see as it starts to open, as soon as I can tell what it's going to be or what colors it's going to be, that's when I buy it for maximum enjoyment. Yes. So I'll get 6 to 8 weeks out of this flower, especially as we get later and the temperatures start going down, the bloom time extends.
Okay.
And so if you want to bloom, or if you want mums from summer through fall, start in August and buy some, and then plan on replacing those maybe end of September, and then you'll get another mum to bloom all the way until Thanksgiving.
Nice, nice. And talk to us about care and maintenance. What should we be doing along the way?
Well, mums are easy. That's why they're so great, and that's why we should use them this time of year. Is they survive the sun and they love heat, but they also will take a frost. So if we get an early snowstorm or something like that, they're just fine to leave alone. So you hear about pinching in mums and deadheading.
Right.
You don't need to do any of that. Mums, they set their blooms and there's no new blooms coming up underneath, so we don't need a deadhead.
Okay.
Once they're done blooming, the plant is done. Now they are a perennial. They will come back from year to year, just not usually when we plant them in the ground this time of year.
Okay.
So the problem is they're putting all their energy into blooms right now and nothing down into the roots. And so if we get a cold winter, you'll probably lose them. The way to get them to be perennial is to plant them actually in the spring.
I see.
And you can find a few mums in the spring. But what we recommend is use them as a decorator plant.
Yeah, yeah, and they're so beautiful. I mean, like I said, so many flowers in one particular, area. They just bulge out. They're just amazing, and the color, it just is so fall.
Exactly. So buy them now, use them to decorate for the fall, use them for Halloween, use them clear until Thanksgiving, and then throw them away and start again next year. You
said we don't have to deadhead, but can I clean it up? That's not going to hurt if I clean up.
You can clean it up if there's dead blooms. If you come over here, Brooke, let me hold this one up. This one's on its way out. Okay, so here we can see a
gorgeous.
fully bloomed mum. This one's
Right.
probably only going to last another week,
Okay.
but all the flowers are going to fade at about the same time. And so there's no really need to deadhead. You could take a few of the most spent blooms off if you just don't like the look of them, and maybe get a few more days out of it. But to me, it's not worth the effort. So I would let that one bloom out, throw it away, and
Okay.
start again.
Now, back to buying for just a second. If we're able to get in on it early, is there a way to tell the size, how big it's going to get when we're buying it early on?
Sure. Once they start blooming, they're pretty much done growing in height. So we started these in the greenhouses at different times. We start our mums clear back at the beginning of May,
Oh, wow.
believe it or not.
Wow.
And we plant them all the way until 1st of August. And then those will sell from 1st of August until end of October. So once it starts blooming, we set the bloom height, or the plant height, by when we pinch it and how long we grow it and how long we black cloth it. These are all things we do to get a mum to a certain height.
Science. I
so
love it.
mums bloom when the days are short. That's why they're great this time of year. As once the days go below 12 hours, they'll bloom. And so we force them into bloom in the summer by black clothing them at night every day.
Interesting, interesting. And I want to point out, you mentioned a great decorator's accessory for your front porch or beyond, but I love what you've done here where you've mixed it with the grasses. And that's something you say you could do this time of year with your existing porch plants if you have some grasses that are still hanging on.
Exactly. We grew this mum clear up as a baby with the grass in the middle of it. And
so
they both
cool.
grew together, but you can do that if you already have a grass or a thriller, a centerpiece in your planters with maybe petunias or other summer annuals. Take the petunias and summer annuals out, rip them out, and rip as much soil volume out as you need to fit some mums, and then take maybe what we call a gallon-sized mum, and take 4 or 5 of these, depending on how big your planter is, and plant them around the grass, water it in good, and you're ready to go.
I think that's such a cool idea, such a feature, really. It's just a statement for your porch. Brian, great information. Thank you so much. Where can we get our hands on some of these fun color varieties you were talking about?
So this time of year, we ship mums to Home Depot, Walmart, Sam's Club. They all have our mums from Olson's Greenhouse.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
we love
Brooke.
it. The mum, I'm telling you, it is the flower of fall. For